What happens to men and women with time is that they become set in their ways. We go through things in life. There's traumas, there's experiences, there's all kinds of things that happen in life. And we're forced, those experiences become a part of us in life. They form us. And those people that are single, especially as they're older, maybe they've been married before, they've had a relationship, and then are single, and have been living on their own for quite a bit of time, they've developed even more sense of independence. They control their complete autonomy. No one tells them what to do. They do whatever they want to do that suits them. But in terms of relationships going forward, being single, being older, the question is, what is valued in relationship? In terms for me as a man, since I already have established legacy, and since I already have kids that are grown, my boys are doing well, the only value that I would get out of a relationship pretty much is, I don't know what I get out of a relationship. Maybe some companionship, but I can get that without being married. So the question becomes, what is the benefit? I don't benefit financially. I mean, emotionally, I could just talk to a woman and get value from her, or just dealing with her and just having a conversation or spending time with her. I certainly, not starved for anything sexually. So the value is just really a companionship. Maybe if I want to travel with somebody or go somewhere on vacation, the needs you have as a man become less. Especially, I'm not building no new kingdoms or building no new house. I already built my kingdom. I already have those things established in life. I'm already retired, even as a 51-year-old guy. So there's really not anything to gain with that. And people say, well, what about dying alone? Trust me, I've been law enforcement my prior career. Everybody dies alone. Old people don't even sleep in the same room. Everybody that I've dealt with that have died alone. And many of them crap their own pants. So the die alone shit don't afraid. Most people put their parents in nursing homes when they get older anyhow. Come visit them once a month. Or two people living in the house, the woman and the man don't sleep together, and the guy dies in the room in the middle of the night. Nobody even know he's dead. Guy to die on the side of the highway, die on the train. Women and men die alone. I've had women that die on the bus. There's so many different things. You're going to die alone. You're born alone. 9 times out of 10, you're going to die alone. And being alone has nothing to do with being in a relationship. There's a lot of married people that are alone. Marriage, especially for men, can be a very lonely experience because it's the people around you that make you feel alone. So whether you're married or single, many times men are alone. When you're married, you're just alone with more responsibilities. That's why you see that guy parked in the park at dusk when the sun's coming down. The cops tell him he's got to leave and go home. And he's parked there. He's like, oh, man, do I got to go now? He ain't even trying to go home. But getting back on topic, the conversation today for a lot of men is that what are they getting at a certain age with established legacy? And it becomes an issue of people being set in their ways. But now comes in social media. Social media and the mindset and the mentality that has been created where there's a detachment from reality. And I hate to say it, when you have conversations with individuals, they're unaware of the realities that exist in their life. What are their real options in life? What is real? What is exist out here? What is the value they really can get? And there's this it's like a drug. Social media has become the most dangerous drug in the world. It's not just America. And I see many women my age, not all of them. There's some women that are pretty sensible and smart, can turn it away, that have this mindset, this mentality. And many times today, I can't tell the difference between a 25-year-old woman and a 45-year-old woman. If you listen to the way they talk and the belief system, the mindset, And even the mentalities that they come. Many of them are older and they want men to marry them, men who already have established legacy. I'm not knocking the game, ladies. Go get what you got to get. But when you've been married before, divorced, probably have somebody's kids, there's nothing really that man can gain from you. It really, other than being in close proximity to have sex with you, there's really nothing else he can gain from the situation. And these women are looking for men to pay their bills, which is provider man, traditional men, after they've really lived their youth and enjoyed their lives and whatever else. They're looking for guys to pay 100% of the bills. That's a man, that's his duty? What? So that means that basically his money is your money, or our money. His money is our money, and my money is my money. So you want to double dip. You want to keep your money, even though you've been a feminist, you've been a career woman, you've been working all these years. You want to keep your money and use his money. So he's basically a retirement plan. Women know that men are going to die before women, usually, and they get to carry on with his resources. It's really leverage. It's really money. It's really a retirement plan. If a woman has had kids or lived a certain life, there's really nothing else in it for her other than you as a man as a retirement plan. It's certainly not for your great charm. In fact, many women find my content to be quite disturbing. So they don't think of any charm or any wonderful thing. It's a business thing. It's the money. The missing ingredient for their life is money, your pension, your retirement, your security, your validation. It's about security and benefits. Men, smart men, understand that. It's certainly not about love. Love, you might as well put love on the back of a missing person carton. It's about money. They can get male attention from anywhere. So there's really no benefit for them other than you marrying them and signing over your resources to them. And men understand that. So what is the point? And considering that second marriages are about 70% divorce rate, and the fact that there's nothing really for you to gain and only everything for you to risk losing, even with somebody who has money. Women with money think about spending your money. They don't care. They could be a professional working so many years, and they're thinking to themselves, I am still a woman. And traditionally, you're a provider and protector. Even though I am old just like you, 1,000 years old just like you, I've been working all my life and been a feminist all my life. Today, I'm a traditional woman when it comes to being married and spending money. And then there's the other part. A peaceful life makes the best effort he can to take care of his body and his health. I'm in the gym maybe 5-6 days a week. It ain't perfect, but it's working. I take great pride in trying to maintain my health. I'm not on any medication. I don't have any of these ED things you women talk about. Everything works on a peaceful life. Thank God. I'm appreciative of that. Women, on the other hand, don't think that they have to do not all women. There's some women in the gym take great care of their body. Salute to you ladies. They think they come as they are. They go to the church, they listen to the Panda Bears, and they think that men are supposed to accept them the way that they are. And all of everything of their flaws and their issues. And really, we don't have to. And there's nothing better or more interesting for me as a man to be turned down for a job that I'm not even applying for. When women come and say, well, peaceful life, we're not even checking for you old guys like you Gary Coleman looking, whatever bald-headed dude. I don't care. You turn me down for a job that I ain't applying for, I got no problem with that. Because I don't want to be the guy that walks around and picks up dog poop all day long. I ain't applying for that job. So why are you firing me from a job that I don't want? Now somebody else can keep that job. And the fundamental problem is that it becomes an issue or a problem where there's nothing that men can benefit from. And even from the perspective of companionship, many of today's modern women and their liberal mindsets and mentalities, the narcissism, the selfishness, the self-centered things, the wanting to be pedestalized and worshiped, the disconnect with reality, they're absolutely insufferable. If I wanted to, to experience ball torture. I'll just go ahead and take a brick and slam myself in the nuts. I don't need you to do it as a woman. And that's the thing about life, where men have to make rational, logical decisions and choose the pathway of peace. Now, if you see a peaceful life in some country like Thailand or something like that, and I'm shacking up with some Thai women, I'm not saying I would, and maybe I'll do something like that. I'm not saying I would, because I know inevitably if she starts acting up or showing me her ass, I'll be at Savannah Pool in the next flight out of there. I'll be like, kick rocks, I am out. Low investment, low risk. I don't have to deal with the legal system. Speaking of the legal system, once you've established and worked hard to build your life as a man, you're not going to risk your assets. I don't care about prenuptial agreements. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm not going to risk or take those unnecessary risks by exposing myself to a biased legal system, a biased social environment, a biased gynocracy. Now I have all this responsibility. And speaking about responsibility, these women want egalitarian relationships with men. Responsibility without authority is slavery. Selective Bible scriptures, selective Bible beliefs, selective whatever. And they're not going to listen to you as a man. You can forget it. You want to try it? Quote the Bible scripture where it talks about women obeying their husbands, or a man is the head of a husband, not just household. The man is the head of the wife. Sorry. And see the frown on their face brings the feminism right out of them. The feminist ball-busting women that we exist in this society, grifting for marriage. Many of them, they've divorced husbands and left them behind in the dust. And now you're the new sucker that's lined up to be there for security. What do you think they talk about with their girlfriends? They don't talk about your great charm. They talk about the fact that you own this and you own that, and you probably have this much as an investment, and you will make a good catch for an extra addition to the retirement lifestyle. And that's really it. They have no desire to listen to you or fall under your leadership as a man. Besides, they've lived long enough. They're set in their ways. They're not going to listen to you. And they're certainly not going to follow any instructions. They want to be in an egalitarian situation with you paying the bills, and they can keep their money, and hopefully you drop dead before them, and they can take that, cash that to the bank, and pass it on to kids that are not even yours. They're not even your biological kids. Really? That's what you want with your life? You work your whole life, and they say, well, you can have wills and trust and all this other stuff. I ain't even doing any of that. I'm not doing none of that. My body of work get passed to my boys and my grandkids. It's just that simple. Whatever I invest in some environment that I can abandon, they can have that. I don't care about that. You take a loss on that. But in terms of inviting the state back into your life as a man that doesn't have to take those risks, you must be crazy. Why take those risks? Why bring the government back into your life in terms of relationships? Why would you do it? There's no need to do it. What are you going to gain? To build this new dynasty with what? Some 45-year-old woman, some 35-year-old woman? You get younger than that, maybe whatever. What are you going to try? Why take those risks when you've already built a life? What do you have? You have catch-up time? You got another 30 years to give up? You got your 60 or 50 or whatever else? You got another 20 years of working hard after you bust your ass to position yourself in life? Now I get 100% of my checks. Now you got to split that. You got to take her on. She ain't trying to pay for nothing. And what are you getting? Old pre-owned? That's your reward? You get to pull down some panties. You got salt and pepper. She got salt and pepper. 2 old batteries can't start a car. That's what you're willing to sign up for? Your life's work. You want to take risks with that? Again, I take a pass. Ladies, I'm sorry, I got off a track. Look, I'm old, you're old, but I'm not delusional. That's the difference between men and women. Men have to live in their reality. Reality is that you old and I'm old. And I ain't trying to pay your expenses. You can kick rocks. I like my autonomy. I like my freedom. I like my peace. I can live life without irritation. No point in me sitting around Thanksgiving with a bunch of people that I don't even want to be bothered with. I can sit down around with my boys and people that have grown old with and enjoying my life. Period. So for men, it's just a matter of the return on investment. It is the juice worth the squeeze. I'm talking about in this Western society with the laws the way they are, with the way the state is it worth the juice worth the squeeze for men? I don't know. My answer would be logically, rationally, without any feelings or emotion involved, absolutely no. And they'll try and use the religion. They'll try and use the state. Really? Give me a break. Christian feminists. Nobody's trying to believe that stuff. The church right now, the rebranding, the hustling, is really just a way to drop men's guard, to get them to sign on to deals for women that are older, that try and shame men. Oh, you guys just want to sleep with a bunch of women and whatever else, try to use God and all this other stuff, try to get men to take deals and to marry them after they've divorced or been through relationships, had kids and all that stuff, and pay the full price of marriage using the church to rebrand themselves as brand new and virtuous. None of us is brand new. Peaceful Life has marriage, has mileage too, but I ain't charging nobody MSRP, which is marriage. I'm not doing that. That's a terrible deal. So it becomes a circle of terrible deals and peace. Peace, the last topic of discussion. Once you have peace in your life, peace is beautiful. I am a peaceful sexual. I'm attracted to peace. I love peace. I'm turned on by peace. You don't want to give that up. Peace and autonomy and the freedom that comes with living life on your own terms. They say, well, what are you lonely? Lonely. Loneliness is just horniness turned upside down. I ain't never seen nobody walk around here lonely with empty balls. You just have a problem with getting attached to the pre-owned network. Once a man is on the pre-owned network, he never experiences loneliness. Anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys. I hope this video was helpful. We'll talk soon. I'm out. I'm about to go eat.